Hello, everybody. Jacob Peters here from PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. It's been a couple weeks. I apologize. We didn't record last week because I was sick, unfortunately, and Fred didn't have any way to record the podcast on his own. So, and I feel kind of shitty because I didn't even post anything on Patreon or whatever, just because I was so out of it. I could barely even talk because I had the sinus thing going on. So, no COVID, no flu. Just some annoying sinus shit that I'm still kind of blowing out of my head. So if for whatever reason you see me blowing my nose, that's all I'm doing. Luckily, we're rejoined this week by co-host Frederick Oakman, who is on location from somewhere that we've never seen before. And I am just happy to know that he's here again and he's doing the podcast. Obviously, Fred's sort of in transition, so there's might be a little bit of weirdness going on with the video, and I know the audio. Are you recording from your Mac mic?
Yes, it's the Mac built-in microphone, and it's also the built-in camera right now. So I apologize.
I will say, Fred, the mic sounds really good.
That's good to know.
And the camera, it's just lighting. Like, if you had better lighting on you, it wouldn't look too bad either. I mean, obviously it's not as good as like the DLSR you were using before, but it's still, I don't think it's as bad as you think. So I think we should be able to be able to hang our hat on this episode without complaining too bad about the delays or the audio quality or the video quality or whatever. So anyway, so what's going on? It's, I mean, I guess you were technically on the last episode. You called in via like your phone on Discord. That was kind of a weird episode, but it's been a couple weeks since then. I know you've been kind of running around and stuff, and but I'm glad to see that you've gotten your setup kind of partially back up and running, and you're seems like you're. We're going to talk about probably a little bit more about Resident Evil. It seems like you're still playing games some, which is good. But what else is going on?
Not a whole lot, man. I got a different environment. My prison cell got a little bit bigger.
Nice.
From last episode. No, just going through a ton of personal shit as the listeners or viewers. If you guys watch, we don't get a whole lot of viewers. Just got a lot of shit going on in my personal life. So I am in the midst of, without getting into details, selling my house and doing all this shit and relocating temporarily, maybe permanently. We'll see. And it's just been so fucking busy and crazy. So I appreciate the patience of everybody. And that's it, dude. Just working a full-time job, working a full-time band, working the podcast, trying to prep. You've sold a house before. It's no fucking joke, dude.
It's fucking horrible. It's almost as bad. It might be worse than buying one, but they're stressful in different ways.
Yeah, it just sucks. I hate to see the house go.
Yeah.
I'm happy to feel like I've got a place right now. So geez, I'm just so fortunate to have a situation where I can set up shop for the time being and maybe make this a permanent place for me, but we'll see. Just working on some things on my personal life, getting things back on track. Like I said, I'm fine. Everything's good. Adulting just fucking sucks sometimes.
Oh, boy, howdy does it. Well,
yeah,
it's been a while. You can just sit back, relax. Sounds like you got the place to yourself. Got a little bevy there. You can chill out. We can talk about games for an hour or so. And then you can go back to dealing with horrible shit.
I gotta do fucking taxes after this. So.
Yeah. Well, dude, why did you wait so long? I just gotta ask. I'm just curious.
Well, I've got this house shit going on.
That's fair. That's fair. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
I'm on timelines, and then I got the TurboTax program, and then LJ did say he was like, "Yo, my mom can do taxes." I just didn't even have time to get. I know my self-employment tracking spreadsheets, documents. And I would hate to have to just dump it on somebody last minute, like figure this shit out. So I've got a code. My mother let me borrow her laptop So hopefully I can download the PC version of TurboTax for self-employment, use my code, and wham bam, do some taxes tonight doing that, and just be done with it. That's the plan. So
I would advise next year you take LJ up on his mom's offer.
I plan to.
And you just do it early. Like as soon as you get as soon as you're done with your 1099s and all your paperwork, just give it to her. Because it is, dude, it's so like, even if you got to pay her a few $100, it's so stress relieving to just not have to worry about it. You just drop it off, and then you come back later, and it's cool. But anyway, I get it, man. I did my own taxes for years before I got a guy, and it sucked just doing Sarah and I's taxes and having to deal with her working in Ohio and stuff. I'm sure it's even worse with the sole proprietorship and all that shit that you're dealing with. So with all the write-offs and the freaking all that crap you got to work on. So, and you do you know if your new vehicle applies for that write-off?
I don't know what write-off you're talking
about. So there's a new thing. Part of the Trump's new thing is that if you bought a new vehicle that was it doesn't have to be an American company, but if the vehicle was assembled in the United States, then you get all of you can get a tax credit for the interest you pay on your loan. So it's something to look into. I don't know if TurboTax will ask you about that or not, but so
it says right here, if my VIN starts with a 1, 4, or 5, it was built at the Georgia plant.
So look into it, because you could get, you might get a few $100 back depending on how much your interest is on your vehicle. So
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's just something to think about, because we were talking about it at work the other day, and I knew because I'm getting ready to buy a new car, and I knew that you had bought one. So yeah, it's like buying a house, worst thing to buy. Second worst thing to buy, a car. Unless you know like exactly what you want and you're 100% convinced that you know exactly what you want and you're going to walk in the dealer and throw some cash down, I imagine that's a relatively painless experience. But just like the shopping, and then you go there and the freaking, the sales guys are giving you the runaround. Like I actually was looking at I wanted to go look at a car in Hermitage because it's only about a half hour from me. And so I messaged the dealer and I was like, hey, I want to come look at this vehicle. And they're like, no problem. Can you just give us your phone number in case the vehicle sells before you get here? And I'm like, sure. Because I needed to wait a day before I could go down. And how cars, they just fucking sell instantly. And so they contacted me back and they're like, hey, just so you know, the vehicle sold, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, that sucks, whatever. But it's the name of the game. But since I gave them my phone number, I have gotten like 3 text messages from them that are like, hey, are you still looking for a vehicle? Do you want this kind of vehicle? We've got this vehicle in stock. And then I got a text from a completely random person that I've never talked to before. That's like, hey, I work with this other guy that you've been talking to. Can I help you with it? I'm just like, oh my God, guys. I know this is how you make money, but at the same time, it's like, I just want to be left alone. When I emailed the guy my phone number, my gut was to be like, hey, here's my phone number. Do not use it for any other reason than to call me and tell me this vehicle has been sold. But I didn't want to come off like a dick, so I didn't do that. And now they're fucking like texting me, every other day about this fucking car. So whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so we can, one last thing. Before I know you've been kind of doing some work around the house, getting it ready. Have you had to do any work outside yet? Because
yeah, dude, I've done so much. I mulched everything. I did landscaping.
Yeah.
I did the fucking patio. I think I even talked about the patio recently. Resanded it all. The problem is my gutters need cleaned out. So I called this place called Gutters R Us. Mm-hmm. And they were supposed to come this past week, but we had so much rain they never showed up. Sure. So I'm hoping they show up this upcoming week. But the problem is when you use that polymeric sand on the fucking patio and then your gutter is overflowing and it's just dropping loads and loads of water on your patio, it just pushes all that fucking sand out.
Yeah.
So it's a problem.
It sucks.
I've done some shit outside.
It sucks. Yeah, we just started because we have a bunch of trees we're going around picking up. We spent all day today, I don't want to say we. Sarah was gathering up all the sticks and then putting them in we have a garden trailer for a four-wheeler, she's putting them in that. And then when she would fill it up, I would go drive it up into the woods, dump it, clean it all out, bring the four-wheeler back for her. And then, like, in the meantime, I was working on cleaning out my car because I'm getting ready to sell. Yeah. And she also did some landscaping. Like, we have landscaping around our pool. And it's just gotten so, like, mulch just gets so fucking shitty. Like, if you haven't done it in a few years, like, it basically just turns into compost, essentially. Yep. And then it gets all kinds of roots and shit in it. So, what I did is I want to redo all of it. So she pulled out, like, she scooped all the mulch out and pulled all the weed block fabric out. And so we're going to do that soon. But I was just going to mention that, like, bro, man, today is April 4th, and my grass is so fucking deep in parts of my yard that, like, and the thing is that I really can't mow it because the yard, it's so wet still. I mean, you know how much rain we've gotten over the past week or so. It's like a freaking pond in my yard, and somehow I got to mow the bitch. So I mean, it's the same problem every year, but it is what it is. So we can move on to the crux of the podcast, which is video games. I know a lot of times we like to go on and on about our personal lives, but we're gonna try and keep it 100 today, as the kids say. I don't know if that's relevant to this or not, but
yeah, it works.
So anyway, the first thing that I want to go over is actually we should do some God, I'm sorry. I'm like trying to. I keep grabbing the wrong window, and I'm afraid like I'm gonna grab the Discord window because if I grab it, it fucking breaks your video. So like you know how it is. Like if you accidentally downsize the Discord window, it disappears within OBS. Yeah. So I'm trying to like get my notes up here. Anyway, yes, one and only $1 club. We do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/PS. This is awesome. For $1 a month, you get a vinyl die cut sticker. You get a shout out on the show. You get the episode a couple days early, assuming we get to it on time, which we've been pretty good about it recently. We just missed last week because of some sickness and some personal shit. And it's nice to see, and obviously you can go on there and you can comment and stuff like that if you want to, or you can email us, or you can comment on YouTube or on Apple Music or any of these things. If you don't do the Patreon, goes live on Wednesdays for everyone, everywhere, YouTube, streaming services, yada yada. If you do have Patreon, you can get the audio usually 2 to 3 days early, usually Monday. It'll actually be a little bit earlier than that this week because I'm just going to publish this immediately, and it's Saturday. So you'll probably have it on Easter if you want it. But it's only $1. Helps us out. You can get it a few days early. We could talk to you if you want to talk to us on the show. Call in, tell us, how shitty your life is, or, tell us about your yard, management stories. And I'll be honest with you, Fred, I cleaned my car out today, and when I was cleaning my car out, I'm not even fucking kidding you, I found $5 worth of change in my car.
Wow.
So the amount of change I just found in my car when I was cleaning it out would pay for 5 months. That's almost half a year of the one and only $1 club on Patreon. So keep that in mind. Keep us in mind. We love you. And on with the show. There is some listener feedback. Just so you guys know, a little bit of behind the scenes here. These notes that we're going off of for the episode are an amalgamation of some stuff that Fred started a couple weeks ago when I was sick and what I have done today for this week. So some of this stuff is old, some of it's new, but all of it has happened within the last 2 weeks. Listener feedback is from our boy One Black Talon, who likes to write in. We like talking to him. This was a couple weeks ago, so we apologize, but we wanted to get to you. And he says that, and this I must have been talking on the show about how much I suck at playing video games, because he said, I know you beat Returnal. You're not giving yourself enough credit. It's probably the number one game I wish I would have completed. Maybe one day I will. And then he, continued on saying no bad gamer or even mediocre gamer can beat Returnal. So I appreciate the sentiment, One Black Talon. I would submit that Returnal is about learning what works for you personally. And maybe people would say this about games like Elden Ring and all these other games that people say are really hard. But for me, once I got the rhythm of the game down and I found the gun that specifically worked for my gameplay style, and I knew the items that I needed to find, which are like there's like the little astronaut figurine, which gives you an extra life, and there's some other shit. Once I figured that out, the game almost became trivial for me. And so while I 100% appreciate the sentiment, I feel like it's not as hard as people think it is, but maybe that's just, I mean, maybe it is. I know specifically people really struggle with that third boss, which is the one where you're like on the floating platform and it's like the really big boss that is like shooting shit at you. And so I don't know. I'm glad to hear it though. So with that out of the way, let's get into the games that we're playing, Fred. Now, before I jump into my shit, let's talk Resident Evil Requiem, because I'm curious how much farther you've gotten in the game. Obviously, we don't want to spoil it for people. Yeah. But I will say, before I hand the reins over to you, is that I fucking love this game. I love it. I platinumed it. So I'm done with it because I got the platinum. There's nothing else for me to do. That's how much I like this game. So I am curious where your thoughts are on Requiem, if you've beaten it yet, and if you haven't even, sort of like if you still like it or if you have any other thoughts about it that you want to share.
Yeah. Last time we talked, I had fallen through the ground, remember?
You got to the basement part, yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing it a little bit more. Sorry, I'm kind of screwed around with my phone is supposed to be able to be used as a camera also to project, and I can't figure it out while we're talking. That's why I seem distracted. Anyways, I made a lot more progress. I made a part. Well, let me just put it this way. Everybody knows that this happens, but I am now at the original police station, the dilapidated police station now.
Yeah. Okay. So you're actually probably 70 to 75% of the way through the game at that point.
Wow.
So there's like the police station section is relatively short, and then there's one more section after that that's like the end of the game. So yeah, you're a pretty good bit of the way through.
That's cool.
Was all of that stuff with like
Leon,
like the second part with Leon where you're in the city and then you go back to the police station, was all of that ruined for you before you got to it? I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for the audience.
No, I didn't know anything about any of it.
But I didn't know anything about it either, and I thought it was kind of cool. Like I thought there was a little bit of it's like a little bit of like, you know, fan service, I guess, with it. But I mean, the whole idea of bringing back Leon to begin with is kind of fan servicey. But did you just get to the station, or have you gone through the whole thing?
I just got there.
Okay, so I won't dive into it, but yeah, that scene leading up to getting there is so fucking psycho. It's so funny with the motorcycle. It's just bananas.
It was like really easy, but it was weird.
It was just time, I was just like, what is this? But it's kind of campy and fun. So, but are you still so now that you've gone through the Major Gray section and the Major Leon section, I've got to ask, which one do you prefer more?
I gotta agree with you, man. I didn't like the Leon section as much.
Yeah. The Gray section I thought was so... Well, it's partially because of the survival horror first-person component of it, but I just think that the Rhodes Hill Care Center is just a much better environment. Like everything that's going on there is much more compelling than like all just the brown dilapidated buildings that you're going through with the Leon section. So
some of the Leon section is kind of tricky. Not tricky as in like, oh, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna run out of ammo. Just tricky like, where am I supposed to go?
Yeah, it is a little weird whenever, especially when you get to the part where you have to. There's like the main area, and then there's like, once you get the gas, you have to like go up to like this area where there's like a zip line, and that was like a little bit weird as far as like figuring out how to get there and do all that. And there's a whole section, like this whole underground section where you go back to the tram station and stuff that like you don't even have to do. It's just like there if you want to do it, if you want to go back and unlock all the BSAA containers and all of that. But I thought it was interesting, and I really did enjoy it. So, but again, I was much more into the gray stuff, and it sounds like, were you into the gray stuff more because of the gameplay style, or did you like the character more, or did you like the environment more, or was it like an all of the above kind of thing?
Here's what the Leon action is fun. I like having access to all this stuff. I like having the weapons. I think it's fun to shoot zombies or whatever they are. I like his style a little bit. He's pretty like tropey on purpose. So I like all of that. But they did what they did in Uncharted 4, where it's just like, I just want something more linear, man.
You don't want to be like running around this kind of semi-open city. Yeah. No.
It just seems like it's like open world to be open world, or sandboxy to be sandboxy. And it was a little too open, and there were doors that you couldn't access. You didn't know where you had to go next. There's no indicator saying, oh, you should go to this part of the map first, or go to this part. And you find yourself just walking around, just being like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go here. So like, it just kind of took me out of the immersion. Like, I didn't really enjoy it. Like a linear map, at least where you're in a building and that's like the map for that level or whatever.
Yeah.
You have an upstairs, you have a downstairs, you might have a basement, you might have some rooms that you need a key card for. This was way too open. Like, I just didn't like this part at all.
And the map, the map they gave you didn't do a really good job, because it's like you're in the apartment, but it doesn't really tell you what floor you're on, and it doesn't. So like, there's that section where you got to go like up and then go through like the crank gate to get to where there's zombies on the roof or whatever.
Yeah.
Trying not to spoil it too much, but like, it's just very like, okay, well, I'm just gonna run around until I find stuff. So I totally get what you're saying, but I also just genuinely felt like the Rhodes Hill Care Center was just genuinely more Resident Evil. Now, don't get me wrong, the Leon stuff is very much like Resident Evil 4, where he's very run and gun compared to him in Resident Evil 2, where it's a little bit more claustrophobic and survival horror. But man, I will tell you what, so in order to get the platinum in this game, you have to beat the game on the insanity difficulty, and then you have to beat the game. You have to beat the game in under 4 hours. So you have to do like a speed run, and then you have to beat the game without using any health items, and you have to beat the game without using the Grace's injector to suck blood up. And the thing is that all sounds crazy, but it's actually not as bad as it sounds, because if you play the game correctly, you can unlock infinite ammo. And when you unlock infinite ammo, then you can do your speed run as Grace on the easiest difficulty, or so not as Grace, but you do the speed run on the easiest difficulty, and then when you're on the easiest difficulty, you will automatically regain some health if you get hit and you don't get hit for a certain period of time. So really what you end up doing is you end up just running through the fucking maps, and when you do have to fight enemies, you have infinite ammo for that huge magnum gun. So you just like literally one shot like every fucking enemy that you come across. And then where it gets so doing that to get the infinite or sorry the speed run, the no health items, and the no ejector thing. That's relatively straightforward. The one that's a little bit more challenging is the beating the insanity difficulty, because dude, it is, if you don't cheat, it's fucking impossible. I can't imagine people actually beat it with, because it takes like, you know, that opening section with Leon where you're in the street and all the cars are like crashing and like the zombies are attacking you. Like the very first time you come across a zombie, it takes like 15 shots to kill a fucking zombie.
Oh, it's awful.
And there's very few ammo, little ammo, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, once you do the speed run and you do and do it without health and you do it without the injector thing, you get all these extra points, and you can unlock the RPG, and you can unlock infinite ammo for the RPG. And the RPG just kills everything in one hit, even bosses. So you just literally, it becomes like a fucking arcade insanity where you're just running around as Leon, just launching fucking rockets all over the place. It is so, it's so, like, people have talked historically, especially with Resident Evil 2 and stuff, where they're like, oh yeah, you know, the game kind of opens up after you beat, like, the first time you play it is fun, but after that, you know, it's really fun to do the arcadey shit, like the speed run and the infinite ammo and all this stuff. And I've never done it because I just have never been compelled to kind of go back. Yeah, but right. I decided to do it this time, and I was like really blown away by how much fun I had just kind of cheesing the game and like running, like, because when I played it the first time, it was a great experience. I loved it, but it's a lot more tense. You know, you're really worried about what's coming around the next corner. You don't know where you're going next. You're conserving ammo. You're doing this, that, whatever. But when you get to the point where you're just like, I've got everything unlocked. I got this fucking rocket launcher. It's got infinite ammo. I'm just running around, just blowing shit up. It is such a dichotomy from the first time you play the game that it is really, it's kind of like watching fucking The Evil Dead or something like that. It's just, it creates this amazing experience on its own. But the one thing that I will say as a recommendation to the audience, if you have any intention of going through with the platinum, what I would do, look up how to, before you start the game the first time, look up how to solve the final puzzle. Because it is pivotal to getting enough points to be able to unlock infinite ammo. I had to beat the game 4 times to get the platinum. If you get what's called Marie's doll in your first playthrough, then you can unlock infinite ammo basically after, like, during your second playthrough, and you could kind of you could probably do it in 3 playthroughs. But you know, I don't want to really spoil it more than that. But just to kind of, if you've started the game already and you're curious, in order to get Marie's doll, there's a very specific thing you have to do during the basement section of the Rhodes Hill Hospital when you're playing as Grace. So, you know, if you're interested and you haven't gotten to that point yet, or you just got to that point, I would highly advise that you look it up. Otherwise, you're going to have to play the game one extra time. But after you beat the first game, when you're playing it on easy, the game becomes trivial. So you could just kind of blast through it. It's not that big of a deal. But anyway, so sorry, I just kind of went on a fucking tangent there. Do you have anything else to say about Requiem? Because I know that this is kind of like, probably, I'm not going to say this is the last time you're going to talk about it, but I don't know when we're going to get another Resident Evil game.
Yeah, man, I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I just kind of wish that it was, I wish that Leon part wasn't the way it was. That's all. That's my only gripe about it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm excited to get into the hospital part. Or the police station part now. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Did you... So, just out of curiosity, so I don't know what you opened, but it must have been right beside the microphone because it made an awesome noise. But no, you're fine. But how do you feel about the game separating the? Oh, now you're like, okay.
Is that better video quality?
It looks about the same. So I mean, it's up to you. If you that's a really good view. That's a really good view of you. Your eyeball. You just hold it there for the next. Just hold it there for the next half hour, please.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. You got some gunk in your eye.
See that little thing here? You got like a thing on my. It's so funny. It's like one of those eating up clothes videos.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You were just like grossed out.
Send that to Dr. Pimple Popper. So, anyway, I was gonna ask you: do you think the game would be better if it was one or the other, or do you like that they split it between the two gameplay styles? Like they tried to have their cake and eat it too, with like the Resident Evil 7 style and the Resident Evil 4 style. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of like that they're both there, but I can understand if people might prefer one over the other.
I wish that I gotta switch back to the other camera. Sorry. Now I know I have an option though.
Sure.
I like that the I like that the I didn't think I would like their suggestion with the camera options.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at it. I thought it would be the other way for me. I thought I wouldn't. So, but I think it's fine. I think the switching between the two characters, whatever. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all good. Like there's no issue with it. I don't know how the story winds up. I'm kind of mixed on it. It's so far not my favorite of the newer ones, but there are some things I really like about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So would you say you like Village and or Resident Evil 7 more than this one?
I think 7 is still that's the one with the hut in the middle of the woods, the house back there, right?
In the bayou, yeah. The first Ethan,
I love that one,
or whatever his name is, story. Ethan Winters.
I love that one a lot.
Yeah. It is good.
It just it's fun. The end of that one is just bedlam, dude. It's just like, you remember the end of that game? It's just gnarly.
I remember there's that like weird shit where you go into like a fucking boat or something, and then like then there's like this thing where you're in a house, and like I haven't played it since it came out. I actually have been thinking about going back and playing it again because it's been so long. It's a great
one, dude. I really like Village a lot. I like this one. Don't get me wrong. I want to see how it ends up. I want to see how it finishes. I want to see the story. I want to see. I'm curious. Well, no. Wait. There is something weird about it with the story. I don't want to spoil anything. There's a character that you're made to believe is really, really important. And then you just find out that, like, it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm talking about? With Grace?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Does that come back?
There's closure. If we're talking about the same thing, there's closure with it at the end of the game.
Yeah. All right.
So I'll be curious. We'll have to circle back maybe privately after you beat it, because I'll be curious how you feel about the way that they wrap that whole arc up. Because I do think that there is a lot with Grace's character specifically that's interesting. And you're going to get to a part even here soon with the police station where they dive into Grace's character a little bit that I'm curious how there's like this weird little like side level that you do that I'm kind of curious how you think about it. So anyway, we can move on. I just real quick before we jump into the news, I will say that I bought Crimson Desert, so I've been playing that the last couple days, and I don't have a whole lot to say about it just yet. I'm about 4 hours in. Everything that I've heard about the game is basically spot on in that the beginning of this game kind of sucks. And not in like it. That's a bit harsh. It doesn't suck. It's just kind of you have to do the game. Just like gives you a laundry list of monotonous tasks that you have to do while it explains like the 1,000,001 fucking systems in the game.
Yeah.
But the actual like the world is really beautiful. The actual running around is kind of nice. The combat's really fun. So I was showing Sarah earlier, there's this mechanic where you can like pick up cats and just like walk around with them and pet them. And
Okay.
and like the more you pet them, the more they like you. And it's it's really interesting. But I don't have a whole lot to say about it otherwise. I'm enjoying my time with it so far, but like I said, it is a little bit obscure and a little bit kind of tedious to start. But it's a big game, so once it opens up, I'm sure it'll be fun. It's just cool, like there's all these like wild, when you do the combat, there's all these like wild wrestling moves and shit that you can do on all the bad guys that are really fun and really like visceral feeling. Where you can like
weird.
It's really interesting from like the perspective of like a medieval style game. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. But I will say if you're on base PS5, the only way to play this game is on the quality mode where it's like locked 30 frames but like the highest quality. Because if you try to put it in the performance mode, it just looks like ass. The freaking the upscaler goes crazy and everything gets all blurry and shit, and it's just not good. So, and the frame rate's all over the place. But to my understanding, if you have a PS5 Pro or a PC, it runs pretty well. So you won't have to worry about it on those platforms. But if you're on base PS5, just get used to the 30 frames. It's pretty smooth 30 frames. Just get used to it. Play it on quality mode. I think you'll be fine. So, and I don't think, Fred, we talked about this last week. You didn't really have much interest in that, or if you did, you were just kind of concerned about the size of the game, basically.
Dude, it's just too long of a game. I think I'm gonna. Well, we know GTA 6 is coming out.
Yeah.
And we also know that we've got some Witcher shit coming out eventually. So,
yeah.
In fact, there's going to be some Witcher DLC, I believe, that somebody's working on.
There's some rumors, yeah.
So, I'm just holding. I'm holding for that shit.
Okay. Well, let's jump into the news then. So let's talk about the big one while Fred drills a fucking hole in something for some reason.
It's going to take 2 seconds. I'm so sorry. I'm still trying to get my little area set up here.
So, probably one of the biggest news points of the week is that Sony has announced and at this point in time executed a price hike on the PlayStation hardware. So, on the PS5, the PS5 Pro, and I think the Portal as well. I think the PS5, base PS5 is now $650. The PS5 Pro is now $900. And the PlayStation Portal is now $250. Fred, that is a fucking huge price increase.
I'm glad I bought a Portal
on this console. And I almost can't believe it. Like, I was thinking, like, okay, well, maybe we'll see, like, just so you know, the digital edition of the PS5 is $600. So it's still expensive as hell. It's unbelievable. Fred, we paid $500 for this console when it launched, the disc version. And it is now $150 more than it was 5 years ago when we bought this
Makes
thing.
no sense.
5.5 years ago. So this is the world we live in now. It sucks ass. And I feel bad. I'm happy for LJ. Got his fucking PS5 Pro, 6 months or a year ago or whenever he got it. Now he doesn't have to pay $900 for it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I look at this and I'm like, bro, this console is fucking almost 6 years old. You can't just eat a little bit of cost at this point. Like, what I'm wondering, is it really hurting you that bad that you need to increase the price of this console by $150? Just talking base PS5 here. Or are they taking advantage of the narrative around the global market and AI shit and chip prices and memory and all of this crap? Because to me, this is a pretty fucking aggressive leap. Like I said, it'd be one thing if it was $50. Because they increased it $50 last time. But you're going from $549 to $649. That's no bueno in my position. And at this point, I'm just like, I just hope my PS5 doesn't catch on fire before the fucking PS6 comes out. Because I don't want to buy another one.
Dude, I'll say this. I just love how our podcast is now getting a theme of us speaking Spanish.
Yeah. It's probably insensitive in some way, but
no, we're just showcasing our knowledge.
That's true. We probably both took Spanish in high school.
Yeah, and 4 years of it.
Yeah, and that's what came out of it. So, what are your thoughts on this? I assume that you would be at bare minimum kind of disappointed, even though you already have a PS5. But I know you didn't have a plan to buy a PS5 Pro, but I would assume that you're definitely not buying one now. You got your Portal.
I don't think people are going to buy this now because the price of this went up.
$250, yeah.
That's crazy. The price of this went up. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
You could probably go. I'm just out of curiosity here. Let's go to eBay. And
that's crazy.
I'm just curious. What's a Steam Deck cost? A used Steam Deck?
Oh, jeez.
No,
I don't even know what that is.
They're not gonna. You're not gonna save any money there. Because I was gonna say, if you could find like a used Steam Deck for a few $100s, it'll do the same thing as the Portal, and
except more.
And it also has all of the Steam library stuff. So it's getting to that point where it's like, is it really worth it? $250? But yeah. So anyway,
the problem is you can remote in. Like right now, I could remote into my PS5. It's in Meadville. I'm not in Meadville right now. I'm in Kansas. Not really, but I'm not in another city because I got to go on a trip for work. I got to go to Williamsport in May for 3 days, and I'm taking my Portal because I want to play that game. Remember that game I started where like all the combat is just done through attributes?
Unicorn Overlord? Yeah. So
I figured that'd be a great Portal game.
Sure.
Because you don't have to do anything. I mean, just watch it. But would I like to dial into the Portal through hotel Wi-Fi or dial into my PS5 through hotel Wi-Fi, somehow get to my PlayStation wherever it's hooked up at, and the width of the state of Pennsylvania, and somehow just game flawlessly on the Portal? Yeah, but that's not real life, dude. That ain't ever gonna fucking happen. So then I started thinking, would it be better for me to upgrade my PS Plus so that I can play those old PS2 games and download them to the Portal, right?
Well, I don't think they download to the Portal. I think they're streaming.
It's a stream.
I could be wrong
because I can't stream anything like that off of the store right now on my Portal.
Well, yeah, I think to stream anything you have to have premium. But I think if you get premium and you wanted to play a PS2 game, you would still be streaming it over PlayStation Now or whatever the fuck they call it now. So it wouldn't be local. So you still may have latency issues depending on the type of thing that you're doing. But yeah, I'd be curious. Have you tried it from where you're at? Have you tried connecting to Meadville?
We're not going to do it over on the call, but no, I have. Yeah, I have. But there was a bad Wi-Fi router here that was giving. It's been upgraded now, so I haven't tried it on the new one. So it might be better, but my PS5 is not hardwired.
Yeah, you got to do that.
I don't even know if that makes a difference. I mean, if you're going from, if you're not on a home network, I don't know that it makes a difference if it's hardwired or not.
I would think that it probably still would, because you're just cutting that much more latency out, because you have Wi-Fi where you're at, plus the internet, plus the Wi-Fi at your house. If you hardwire it, you're going to get a little bit more, a little bit less latency, at least on your home network before it goes out to you. But you're right. I mean, if you're doing it that far away and you're just playing like a turn-based game anyway, it might not fucking matter, man. It's worth a try, for sure.
Someone said that they, I'm on Reddit, this exact question was, is remote play okay on Wi-Fi if the PS5 isn't hardwired? One comment said, I'm usually 2 to 3 milliseconds on a dedicated 5 gigahertz gaming network.
That's pretty fast.
It's a Wi-Fi 7 router, but I keep it locked to Wi-Fi 6 mode. I tried Cloud Stream yesterday after signing up for premium, and it was about 20 milliseconds.
Yeah.
Wow. And someone says...
That's actually pretty good. I mean, it would be noticeable, but it's not, like, really bad. So, like, you wouldn't probably want to play, like, Call of Duty with it. But you could play probably quite a few games. Especially if you're playing something turn-based. You could definitely do it.
Someone said if you don't mind 30 to 50 milliseconds, it's okay. And then someone said I get 3 to 4 on my Wi-Fi connection when I use remote play at home. But they're talking about just using your Wi-Fi at home. I want to know, like, if you're remoting in from somewhere else. You know what I mean? There was an update about 4 months ago. They said the update has helped a lot. So I will try it out tonight. I'll see what happens. Maybe I'll play some Resident Evil tonight from up here.
So I'd be curious to see how well it plays. That one might be a little bit tough, but I'd be curious if it works. All right. News point number 2. PlayStation Plus Essential Games for April have been announced and not released yet. They release, I guess, this coming week. The games for this month are Lords of the Fallen, Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream, and Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered. Now, I don't know about you, Fred. The only one of these games I care about are the Tomb Raider remasters. I kind of want to go and play these. I think it would be cool. I don't know if I'm going to play them anytime soon, but I never got a chance to play the original games because I had an N64 during that generation. And I kind of would like to go back and play them, and I think these remasters are pretty decent. So, do you care about any of these games? I mean, I'm sure you probably don't care about Sword Art Online or Lords of the Fallen, but maybe you care about Tomb Raider. I don't know.
I don't really care about any of it. I don't know. Honestly, Lords of the Fallen seems cool, but I never played it. Isn't that like a...
It's like a Souls-like.
It's an old game, though, right?
Well, it launched
cool.
with the PS4, but they completely rebooted the game at some point, like a couple years in, and now apparently people really like it. So, and they're getting ready to release the second one, I think, in August, which actually looks really good. But these games are it's probably just too hard for me, if I'm being honest.
It's probably too hard. I'm with you on that. So yeah, scratch that. No interest. Maybe Tomb Raider, like you said. Sword Art Online, no interest. But that doesn't mean that it's not for somebody. Obviously,
right?
It just ain't. It ain't my jam.
So, Fred, I was trying to go to this link for this memory card thing, but for whatever reason, it's just going to some random. It's not going to where I want it to go. So, what is this news point? Do you remember where it's saying you said Sony suspends memory card sales amid supply issues?
No.
So you wrote, following the newly announced hardware price increases, Sony has also reportedly paused sales of certain PS5 storage expansion options. The move is tied to a broader supply chain constraint reflecting memory components globally. This suggests that hardware ecosystem challenges are extending beyond console sales themselves and into accessories. It may also impact players looking to expand storage capacity, blah, blah, blah. This makes sense. I mean, I know that the memory shortage is not just RAM, but it's also starting to affect things like SSDs and stuff. So I would assume that what you're driving at here is that we are probably going to start seeing droughts in things like expansion SSDs for the PS5, ones that are rated for the PS5 specifically. Like, didn't you bought one for your PS5? It wasn't a PlayStation one though. It was like an approved one. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a black.
Yeah, a Western Digital black, yeah. And I
found the link. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat here. I found it. It's not even for games. It's just memory cards for mainly digital cameras, apparently.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say because those. Probably this. Yeah. Okay.
This is where it starts.
Sony digital cameras probably use Sony proprietary memory cards, and so they are suspending those specific memory cards. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Apologize for the pop-up that came up over Fred's screen. I was clicking a link in Discord. So we'll just leave that as is right now. It's going to get worse before it gets better unless one of these RAM houses decides to have some integrity and stop selling all of their shit to companies that are just hoarding it for data centers and all kinds of crap. Dude, so you remember I was telling you about how the racetrack I would always go to on my motorcycle closed down because they're putting a data center in?
Yeah.
So I found out today, literally like 5 minutes before we started this podcast, I saw a news article in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that apparently they sold the racetrack for $50 million to the company putting the data center in. So I don't know if that's a lot of money for like a data center, but it sounds like a lot of money to me. So maybe that's why they sold it. I don't know. If somebody walked up to me and they're like, "Hey, we'll give you $50 million if you move," I'd be like, "All right." You know what I mean? Like I'd feel bad, obviously, about like the impact that it would have. But I'm like, you're reading all of these comments and shit that are like, "Oh, the people that sold it are shitty and this is going to fuck us all over and blah, 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 blah." And it's like, I get it. And it does suck. And I 100% agree that there should be some regulation on all these data center installations. But at the same time, like, it's not the guy and his wife that owns the racetrack. It's not on them to uphold like the entire community's well-being in the face of this sort of thing that's going on. So as much as I wish that they would have sold to somebody who would have kept it a racetrack or not sold to a data center or something like that, I sort of also disagree with this notion that, like, because let's be honest, bro. If someone came to you and they offered you $50 million for your house, even though what they were going to install was going to harm all of your neighbors, you would fucking take that check every single day of the week. So it's a complicated business, right? It's a complicated business, but that doesn't mean we can't be upset about it. And I'm upset about it still. So, moving on. Where were we? Okay. We were talking. So you made a news point here talking about the price point of the PS6. And there's been some speculation about, it's going to cost $1,000. But then there's some guys like Tom from Moore's Law is Dead who thinks, it's still going to be cheap because of the way that they're doing it, smaller dies, blah, 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 blah. And I think you had just kind of basically, just to summarize sort of your point here, is you were just curious kind of about what we thought about the pricing and just kind of like to sort of push that point a little bit further, assuming this comes out in 2027, if this thing is expensive, or let's not even put a price tag on it, what would be a price that would make you say, like, I'm not buying a PS6, I'm just going to stick with my PS5 for now? Because the way that I look at it is like the PlayStation 5 Pro right now is $900. Let's say everything that the leakers are saying is wrong, and this thing is going to come out at bare minimum $900. It's going to be the same price as the PS5 Pro. Personally, I'm still going to buy one. And the reason why I say that is because, one, I have disposable income. I'm fortunate enough to have that. And two, it's one of my major hobbies that I get enjoyment out of, and this thing will theoretically last me 5 to 10 years, depending on how long I use it. So for me, $900 to $1,000 is not an insurmountable cost. Do I think it's ridiculous? Yes. Would I pay it? Probably. Almost certainly. But I don't think it should cost that much. I would be okay if it was like, if they came out and it's $700. I would be comfortable with that, I think, for like a starting price point for this thing. But I don't know how you feel about it. Like, one, do you think it's going to cost a lot of money? And two, what are you willing to pay $900 or $1,000 for this thing at launch when it comes out, if that happens to be the case? Because my guess is that because of all of the constantly changing landscape with everything, dude, I'm sure you've gotten gas recently. I paid $4.20 for gas today. $4.20. It hasn't been that high in fucking like 17 years. I was in college whenever the last time it was over $4. So everything's getting crazy. What are your thoughts?
I don't care what it costs. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I get you. I get it. I mean, you and I are on the same boat with this. I mean, I would probably seriously think about it if it came out and it was like $2,000 or something. But if you think about it, we do our wrap up at the end of every year. And a lot of times it's like you've played 400 hours on your PlayStation this year.
Yeah. And
it's like, okay, so let's spread that out over. Let's just do a fun math experiment here. So let's say I play 400 hours a year, multiply that by 7 years standard console cycle. That's 2,800 hours across the console cycle, and then we'll take, let's say it's $1,000. And we divide it by 2,800. That's 35 cents an hour of game time that you're paying for game time. Obviously, that doesn't count for you have to buy the games and all that stuff too. I get that. But for me, it's like, and it's kind of the same place I'm at with my car right now. I'm going to buy a new car, and and probably I'm assuming you're the same way based on how you treated your Yaris. I'm going to have this fucking new car for a long ass time. I'm going to drive it until the wheels fall off of it. So it's not unreasonable for me to want to pay a little bit more for something that I know I'm going to get a lot out of. At the same time, I can see this price point being completely prohibitive for someone who maybe only games 1 or 2 hours a week or something like that. Or someone who only games, a couple times a month with their buddies because they have a family or something. So I could totally see there being a huge hit to the sales of this console because, like, the PS5 still works pretty damn good, especially if you happen to upgrade to the PS5 Pro. They're going to have to sell this thing really fucking hard if it's $1,000.
Not to me, but yeah, I know what you mean. Dude, with the price that everything is right now, dude, I can't even begin to explain how expensive things are. Like you said, the gas thing, that's an obvious, there's a totally obvious cause and effect for the reason why gas is the way that it is. Right
yeah.
now, right? But, dude, even fucking groceries, there's a memory card shortage now. So Sony's not selling those things. There's supply and demand, dude. Like, just the general avenues. I mean, wasn't there like a huge issue with video cards recently? Also.
Oh yeah, I mean it's that saga is ongoing basically, but
so it's just like the bottom line is it. The American dollar isn't worth what it was back in the day because of inflation. This stuff feels like a huge price hike, but this is the new normal now.
Yeah.
Everything is just going to cost more. I'm actually surprised the size of the balls that Sony has to jack up their prices on everything.
Yeah.
And maybe, honestly, maybe just maybe them jacking up the price right now on the PS5 and all the associated shit is really just an optical thing that they're trying to do to set the pace for the PS6. And like you said, maybe using all of today's economy issues as a scapegoat to doing it, but really they already know what they want to list the PS6 for. They have all this stuff well within. All this stuff is pumping. You know what I mean? They know what they're paying to make these consoles already.
Right.
I don't think there's going to be any surprise cost to them unless something happens worldwide or there's a global shortage or something. But they're smart enough to know, and they've got people whose job it is to run numbers and to project sales and to figure out, well, this is how we did on the PS5, this is how we did on the PS4, the PS3, PS2. Here's the trends. Here's the cost of everything. Here's what we can get away with. This is the consumer reports for what people are buying these days. We're no longer competing with Microsoft like we have in the past. Maybe we take advantage of that. We increase the price of all the current shit, and that way when the PS6 comes out, maybe we make it $750.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think
maybe it's not $900.
I think $750 would be a completely reasonable price for the PS6.
But if the PS5 is $399 or even $499 or $450 and the PS6 is $750, now you have a huge decision to make as a consumer. If they tighten the gap, it's like I can float the extra $150 or $200 to get the new thing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think what they're going to have to probably struggle with is, do they release it less than the PS5 Pro? Or do they cut the cost or cut the price of those consoles when the PS6 comes out? Because there can't be a market where the PS6 is on the shelf and it's cheaper than the PS5 Pro. I mean, that would be psychotic. I guess it's possible. Like, oh, this is an old technology or whatever, but like, just buy the PS6. But I guess maybe at that point they're just like, screw it, we don't fucking care. We just want to get rid of these things. I don't know. It's very interesting. So
I don't know either, dude.
we'll have to keep an eye on it. But anyway, let's move on. To close out the show, we're going to do some news points that I think are a little bit uplifting. After the downer that was the last couple of news points, we're going to lift up for the last couple of news points. First one here, a little bit exciting. The Uncharted Lost Legacy director, Sean Eskag, posted a picture on Twitter of a cannon on top of a fort in Trinidad and Tobago with the caption of, quote, research, end quote. This has led many to speculate that this could be related to the development of a new Uncharted game. There's nothing definitive, but Fred, I don't know if you've seen this picture, but it's got a pretty heavy Uncharted vibe to it. And the only reason why I say that is because Uncharted 4 was very pirate themed. You know, cannon on the fucking fort on top of the hill. Then you've got, obviously, Uncharted, the first Uncharted game, which was Drake's Fortune, takes place in a tropical setting like Trinidad and Tobago. So this could be any number of things. It could be a brand new Uncharted game. It could be a remake of Drake's Fortune. It could be none of the above. It could be a brand new title. But I think that dude, it's been a long time. I think my soul could use an Uncharted game right about now. In the world that we live in today, I think that an Uncharted game it's like chicken soup for the soul, if you remember that book that came out 20 years ago.
I've heard of it. I've never read it.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's Uncharted? And if it is, I assume you'd be excited. But would you rather it be a new game, or would you rather it be a remake of Drake's Fortune?
I don't think I don't know what this is. Do I think that it's Uncharted related? Yes. I think it's long overdue. I hope that it's not a remake. I also hope that it's not open world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope that they learn their lesson with the way that people are pushing back on open world these days. But I will say, if he's just doing research a couple months ago, this game is fucking way away. All right?
It's a PS6 game, dude.
So,
third year into it or something.
It very well could be that but they are Naughty Dog, I think it has been noted that they are working on another game outside of Intergalactic. We don't know what it is. Could it be The Last of Us Part 3? Maybe. I hope not. Could it be Uncharted? Could it be the remake? I know there's been some speculations of remaking Drake's Fortune. To be honest with you though, Fred, I do think they need to do a new Uncharted game, but let's say that's 6-7 years away. I'd be totally chill with a Drake's Fortune remake in the meantime. I just, every so often, I just love an excuse to go back to that world, those characters, just make you feel good. All right, so next news point. And this is for all you misers out there. Apparently, if you've ever used the application Cash App on your phone, which I think is it's like a phone app that gives you offers on different buying from different outlets and stuff. Apparently, there's a Cash App offer for the month of April, granting 50% off PSN purchases. Wario64 posted about this on Twitter, and he posted a link that showed the Cash App offer or whatever. But there is a max savings of $50, so it's not like you could buy a shitload of stuff. But at a max savings of $50, that's almost 2 full-priced $70 games for the price of one. So That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're looking to buy a new game or something like that in the month of April, I wish I had known about this before I bought Crimson Desert. Maybe I'll use it to buy Saros or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal. So, did you see this, Fred?
No, I didn't see it.
Pretty cool. Have you ever used Cash App? I've never used it before.
I use it. I use it for tips for the flood.
Oh, really?
For solo gigs. I have a thing set up on my merch table that I came up with. That is essentially, it's just like, hey, you want to tip me? You don't have cash? Scan the glyph. It's Cash App. It's Venmo. It's PayPal.
Right.
It's all the digital shit. So nobody has an excuse for not paying me.
Cool.
So I have Cash App for that reason, but I don't. That's the extreme that I've used. I've taken money from people, and I've never.
You've never used it to like find offers for other places or anything.
Correct.
Okay, well, it's out there if you guys want it.
Thank you.
News point number 7. This is kind of interesting because Sony just closed down Blue Point, and they just closed down, which I don't even think we talked about it in the last 2 weeks, but they closed down that new studio, Dark Outlaw Games. Mm-hmm. Sony has entered an agreement with Cinemersive Labs to buy them. And Cinemersive Labs is a machine learning team out of the UK. And the thing is that I know that a lot of people will get upset about this because it's like, well, you close these studios, but then you buy another studio. But it's like, the thing is that they're kind of apples and oranges here, right? Cinemersive Labs is a tech company. They're doing machine learning for the improvement of graphical fidelity in video games. This isn't AI like that's gonna generate freaking like all of the models and code for the next Uncharted game or something like that.
Right.
It's like PSSR, or if you've ever heard of DLSS on PC. It's like these AI models that help improve the graphics of video games kind of on the fly. And so Sony has acquired this, and they made a statement on the SIE website that said, quote, following the acquisition, the Cinemersive Labs team will join SIE's visual computing group and contribute to our broader efforts in advancing the state of art visual computing within games. This includes applying machine learning to enhance gameplay visuals, improve rendering techniques, and unlock new level of visual fidelity for players. So for me, I don't know how you feel about this, Fred. This is kind of like a non-news point for me, other than the fact that it's like, oh, okay, you just got another golf club in your bag for making your games look better in the future. But right. I don't really care about this from the perspective of like, you know, is it going to give me a new game, or is it taking away a game, or blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't think that really matters to me.
Right. No, I agree. It's kind of interesting. I don't know, man. I think anytime we can use any kind of machine learning shit to speed up the creation of games or whatever. Dude, we can talk about AI for a second. Because I have an actual problem. Did I tell you about the fake One of My Land yet?
No. Well, yeah. You did tell us about that. Yeah.
So I got a hold of my friend's brother, who has a degree in law, but for some reason it's restricted to the state that he lives in.
Yeah, I think that's pretty normal.
I didn't know that. And I was trying to ask him for some help, and he said that unfortunately he can't really help. But this guy who we have now had somebody reach out to me on my FredOakman.com website to ask how to get a One of My Land CD, because they found us online and we're too far from them to come see us live. And then I realized that they're talking about the fake AI One of My Land. And I had to tell them that the machines are winning and we're a real band. So maybe they should listen to better music. and I wasn't trying to be a dick about it. And then this fake One of My Land band has lyrics that are, and I'm not injecting my political beliefs at all, one way or the other, but they're very, very left, liberal, anti what's going on in our government stuff right now. And they're always associated with these videos this guy keeps posting that are, it's like very anti-Trump, anti blah 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 blah. And because nothing I've ever been affiliated with have I been able to get to take off, like this podcast included, minimal audience for everything I do, even though I feel like everything that we do is like really high quality. The AI One of My Land has more traction than the band I've been in for over 10 years. And so I just got a comment on a picture that One of My Land posted from some dude who was like, music's really great, but you guys are all victims of Trump derangement syndrome in Pennsylvania. And thinking that we are the AI One of My Land.
Yeah.
So I wrote him back, and I was just like, glad you like the music. He said, music's great, lyrics are terrible. You guys in Pennsylvania are all affected by Trump derangement syndrome. And I'm like, dude, don't fucking come at me about my lyrics. My lyrics are fucking great. So then I wrote him back, and I was just like, yo, glad you like the music. You're right. The lyrics are only for people who pay attention. And I just left it there, and the dude didn't write back. This AI version of One of My Land is actually causing the wrong kind of traction for our real band.
Yeah.
And we got to get this guy to stop, and he's not responding to us. And it's becoming a real issue. So if anybody who listens to the podcast is an attorney or a lawyer or somebody who can help us out in Pennsylvania to get a cease and desist out to this guy, I would love it. But we have punk rock money, which is like nothing. So to invest money to get this done, the lawyer friend that I have can't help us. And let me look here. I wrote him, and he said, I said, well, maybe someone will take this case up based on principle alone because it's an AI thing. And he said, well, honestly, at the root of it, it's a classic common law trademark claim. So I don't think anyone's going to take it up on principle, but he would contact the local bar association, see if they can recommend someone for us to get a hold of. So the root of the issue, the legal issue is a common law trademark issue. And the reason is we don't have a trademark or anything on our name, but we can prove that we've been in operation in the music world as a business, as a group of people that have been creating under this title for years. You can't just show up and use our name and affect what we're doing. Like, you can't do that. So at the root of it, it's not really a matter of principle. Well, it is a matter of principle, but it's not like some groundbreaking AI law thing that I was hoping was going to be the case. But I'm sure it would interest some people, but it would be great to get some sort of attorney that would just be willing to represent us. You know what I mean? Like, that would just be like, dude, let's just fucking fry this guy. This will be a fun project, a pet project for some attorney locally to look out for the local rock and roll guys. I just don't know anybody like that. You know, I don't know who to get a hold of. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you're just trying to get like a trademark thing sort of taken care of, you probably would win it, but it would cost you probably thousands of dollars in attorney fees to get it done, which is just really unfortunate.
It shouldn't be that way. Like, I think there should be some, like, can't we do one of those deals where it's like we give you $1 and then you just fucking go to work for us? You know, that'd be fucking rad. Like,
I mean, there should be a way.
We just all be on the same fucking team here and fight the machines.
There should be a way for you to, like, almost do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you're right, 100%.
I know you probably can, but you have to know, like, all of the all of the legal system stuff, which is why you pay a lawyer, I guess.
And ironically, you could use AI to fight the AI band, and then what are we fucking doing?
I wonder if you couldn't use like LegalZoom or something like that.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a website that, you know, it's still gonna probably cost money, but it might be a lot cheaper than something like, you know, going down the street to your local attorney who like when Sarah and I went to Italy, we looked into whether or not we should maybe get power of attorney or something like that set up before we left. In case something happened to us. And I called like a local lawyer in like the podunk town I lived in, and they were like, I think she told me they were like $300 an hour or something like that. So it's like, you know, and that was just to get advice on a fucking power of attorney. So, I mean, I don't know, man. That really, really sucks though.
Yeah.
But you don't know unless you try, I guess. So, anyway, AI is the worst. Moving on.
Yeah. Fuck it, man. I fucking hate it.
Have you seen this? April Fool's video that CD Projekt Red posted for the Roach controller?
No.
It's like a Witcher 3. It's like posted as like a Witcher 3 add-on, and they call it the Roach controller, and it's just one of those fucking like horse head on a stick thing that you like put between your legs. But it's like this really like they clearly spent time and money making this fucking video to put on YouTube. It's like really high quality. It's pretty fucking funny.
I'll have to look at it. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, dude. I am a little distracted. I'm not trying to be an asshole right now. I'm trying to get TurboTax installed on this fucking computer over here, this PC. Let me look. I mean,
we're about ready to wrap this up. We only got
you're fine.
One more point here, but I just want you to, I mean, even if you don't listen to it, if you just freaking
I'm listening to it. I don't know if I can actually. All right, hold on. Dude, that's real funny.
Yeah,
I like that. I love it. I didn't realize that they had done that, and I love when these companies do these April Fool's things. It's really funny. I love when a company can be less serious,
and I love that they actually spend some money on it, and they spend some time on it.
Oh yeah,
like to make that video. Like I love how like he's talking about the development of it, and it's like the guy in the mocap studio, like with the horse thing between his legs, just like galloping, and then it's like showing like the horse like actually in The Witcher. It's like it was a real thing. Like it's I don't know, it's fucking funny. But anyway, I wanted to just share that as like a little bit of a bright spot on the day, because I typically don't really jive with a lot of the. I think a lot of the April Fool's stuff is kind of annoying, but some of it is actually genuinely funny, and that was one of them. So figured I'd share it.
When no, I love that. When is Project Directive
8020?
Yeah, when is that coming out?
I think it comes out pretty soon here.
That's what I thought.
It comes out May 12th.
Oh, dude.
Because because I noticed the other day when I was looking at on the store that it was up for like either preload or for pre-purchase or something like that. So yeah, May 12th. So a little bit more than a month, and that game will be out.
I love it.
Okay, one last news point here, then we can get the hell out of here, is that the Stellar Blade developer Shift Up from Korea has announced that they have acquired Shinji Mikami's new studio, Unbound, and will henceforth be publishing its games. Unbound has not released anything yet. Mikami was previously at... Oh, God. Why am I brain farting on the name of that studio? The Evil Within studio. Tango Gameworks.
Tango.
Yeah. So he did Tango Gameworks. Before that, he worked on games like Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and obviously The Evil Within was what he did with Tango. He left that studio in the hands of some other people, and now he's starting a new studio. And apparently they got gobbled up by Shift Up before they even got started with their first game, before they even got releasing their first game. So must be something cool, hopefully. I don't know how Shift Up will be as a publisher, but as a developer, I really enjoyed the first Stellar Blade game, and I know they're working on a sequel, so that's pretty exciting. And Shinji Mikami historically has been around like action horror kind of games, so you would imagine that their next game is going to be something in that vein, but maybe they'll do something completely different. Like Tango did Hi-Fi Rush while he was still there. Actually, that was when he was on his way out, and that was completely different. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We'll have to see, but that was the last news point that I had for today. I assume, Fred, you don't really have any comments on that at all.
No, I don't care about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I like pretty much all of Shinji's games. I specifically like, obviously we talk about Resident Evil a lot, but The Evil Within was really good. So I highly recommend, if people are into the old Mikami Resident Evil games like Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 2, play The Evil Within. Especially the first one is really good. I didn't jive with the second one as much. It got a little bit too...
I played and beat the first one, didn't I?
You might have. You might have borrowed it from me, or maybe you played it yourself. I don't know. But I remember the first time. Remember when we did a thing where we tried out on PS4? They had that mode where you could take over somebody's controller over the internet.
Oh, and yeah.
We tried that with The Evil Within, where I was playing it and I let you kind of get on and play my game over the internet, which was pretty interesting that you could... I don't even know if that's still a feature. But, yeah, so that's a little bit of Evil Within lore for PS. This is awesome. But,
yep.
Anyway, that is the end of the show. We've been going a little bit longer than we expected to, about an hour and a half here. I am starving. I have not eaten dinner yet. And so dude, I'm going to go eat something. And I don't know. I know you're kind of on your own tonight. So do you have anything else you want to talk about? You're just going to kind of work on your taxes, I'm assuming.
Fuck. Well, I downloaded... Let me just say why this was such a fucking distraction for me. My mother, I had to borrow her PC. I couldn't run TurboTax on my Mac because my Mac is so old it won't allow me to update to the latest OS system. So my mom has a computer. I said, Mom, I've got the serial for self-employment, whatever, business, personal, whatever it is. I'm going to go ahead and use your PC if you don't mind. And she goes, sure. Well, she already had TurboTax on here. I go to try to install the latest one that I needed, and it says you cannot install this one because it already has TurboTax on it. So I had to go to add remove programs, remove her TurboTax, put the new one on, and now I'm in the new one, and I don't believe it installed the self-employment one. So I'm just fucking wrestling with this thing. It's a fucking battle.
That's annoying. I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
That's all right. That's all I have to say. I've been distracted by that because I'm kind of pissed off. I'm elevating over here. No, I'm not doing anything tonight. I will say that I have been a Punisher fan through and through since I was a kid. I fucking hate that the white supremacists have taken the Punisher logo and have tried to make it that they're bad. These guys think it's badass, but my thought process was always what Marvel needed to do was write an entire story arc where Frank Castle takes back his fucking logo from those fuckers.
Yeah.
And he just annihilates them, takes them all out, takes them to town, curb stomps them, does all the shit that he does. It's really graphic. I'm not advocating violence. I'm just saying I want to see the Punisher do what the Punisher does to people who deserve to be punished. That being said, John Bernthal, better than Thomas Jane as the Punisher in live-action Punisher shit. And he played the Punisher in Daredevil, the Netflix series. And he teased, let me see here, John Bernthal Punisher. He's just so fucking good at this, dude. So he is he's not in Daredevil Born Again. Let me see. One Last Kill was announced. Punisher, One Last Kill, release date confirmed, and more. Marvel TV special on Disney Plus. It'll be the next Marvel TV special to debut on Disney Plus. John Bernthal is reprising his role as the Punisher. That's all we know about this project. And they did have a quick graphic, and I'm just gonna copy the link and send it to you in the chat, Jake, so you can see it. Go to that link because the image is awesome. And he plays the fucking most badass Punisher anyone can play. And I love this man. I think he's cool as shit. And this is going to be awesome. And I hope we get a cameo from the Punisher in the Wolverine game. There's just something about the Punisher that's really cool. And again, it's like this AI shit. It's just like the world just has a fucking way of ruining good shit. You know what I mean? And I hate that this logo was associated with these fucking ultra right-wing military guys.
Yeah.
Because that's not who or what the Punisher is. And I like that they're still using the skull and they're still doing this with him. But this is coming out mid-May. And there's no trailer yet. I'm just so fucking excited about it.
Is it a TV show or a movie?
It says
It says Disney Plus.
A TV special.
Oh, interesting.
But it's called One Last Kill. So I don't know if it's going to be episodic. I don't know if it's going to be like just like back in the day you used to have TV specials, like Christmas specials, or it was like one fucking. I don't know if it's that or if it's going to be a running series.
Like a mini, maybe like a mini series or something. Like a few.
Dude, whatever the fuck it is, I can guarantee it's going to be good. That's
cool.
all I got to say. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So, anyways, that's all I have to say. I'm just kind of jazzed on that, and life has kind of been shitty for me lately, but I've been counting my blessings and doing cool shit, and things are looking positive in the time being, but we're taking it day by day. So that's all. Happy to be back on the show, man. Thanks for having me back.
Alrighty, well, that wraps it up for PS This Is Awesome, episode 418. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning of the show. It's episode 418. And whoa, the rain has started. It sounds like we got some rain coming through. It's a good time to title or to top this off so the power doesn't go out and fucking delete all of our progress. Anyway, so that concludes the show. That's Fred. I'm Jake. We're getting out of here. So like Uncharted: A Thief's End, Until Dawn, an Untitled Goose Game. P.S.
P.S.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.